Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinions with me, Randy Prizzle. Yeah, excuse the kind of creased shirt today. I couldn't be bothered, really. I'm in that mood where it's just warm, it's just hot, and I'm bothered. So, when I'm warm, I'm hot, I'm bothered, migraines kick in, and I generally just don't want to do anything. But, anyways, enough of my life story. Let's get on to what we're here for, which is the unpopular opinions of today's episode. Working an office job is better than working in the trades. Now, listen, I currently work somewhat in a sort of office space environment. It's kind of like that in terms of we sit at a desk and we do admin work and all of that. I'm not going to lie, I'm still getting used to that. You know, I've always been someone who's worked in the trades before, shifting heavy items, moving them from pillar to post. And, you know, the rewards where I got some gains, you know, when I was doing it, I got gains, but I don't have them anymore. You know, I'm trying to go to the gym to figure all that out, but that's where, for me, I do kind of miss just being busy and then time kind of just flies by, especially when you have a lot of stuff to move around. Time flies by, you don't really think about it. You're at the back, you kind of have your headphones in, and you're just getting on with work and not being bothered. So I do miss that. You know, I do miss just not being in front of dealing with all the queries of all the people on phone calls and everything. I mean, I'm not a fan of that right now. I do miss just being at the back, just being able to just get on with work without having queries from all sorts of different customers. So yeah, I do miss that. Next one. Older people tend to be more disrespectful than younger people. I think it depends. Not all older people are disrespectful. I think younger people sometimes don't learn manners. And I think it comes with the time of where you've grown up and you're always taught to respect your eldest. Now, some older people can be pricks as well, can be probably bitter with life. Maybe they just don't like people and they've had enough of people, so they're just going to abuse their power and whatever because they know that they're senior citizens and that people can't really tell them what to do. So they're going to have that complex about them. Some, not all of them, but you do get some youngsters nowadays that don't respect authority, that don't respect adults, especially the ones, as I said, that haven't really learnt what the whole thing is in terms of respecting elders and everything. So let's move on to the next one. The pop music nowadays is just so unlistenable because of their romantic themes. I think it depends. Like, I'm not too much of a fan of nowadays music. I like the old school stuff, you know what I mean? Because that's the era I grew up in. That's the music that's timeless to me, you know. For younger people, I guess they would listen to this sort of music nowadays and go, oh yeah, I love it, you know, Bruno Mars. And listen, I know Bruno was out in 2006 or something around that time. But some of the music that some people sing just aren't relatable. They just don't cut it. You know, it sounds like a sample of or a bit of a copy of what we've heard in the past. So there's always ways you can replicate things, but it's very difficult to kind of stand out and put it in your own ways without it sounding too familiar with something that you've kind of heard in the past. So in some ways, I kind of hear it and understand that it can be difficult for some people coming out around this era because some of the music if it doesn't sound different than stuff you've heard before, then you're like, "Ah, that's just a copy of that," or that just sounds like that person. They're always going to get, you know, what's the word? They're always going to get, the word's not coming to mind, but they're always going to get, you know, looked at as that person did that and that person did that better than you did. So, all right, last one. Receiving gifts is more stressful and annoying than it is enjoyable. I don't agree with that. I think receiving gifts is nice, but it depends when it's Christmas time. When it's Christmas time, some people always just like to get you the basic stuff, like the links. I had a lot of links growing up in my younger days, you know, my teenage years, all throughout, people were giving me links, and I had enough of it. You know, I just say to them, just give me money or don't give me anything at all, because I just don't like it. Too much of that. Too much. Something is bad enough, and it was bad. So that's the thing why sometimes receiving those sort of gifts, throw them in the bin. I've had enough of it. But when you're giving me something that's like memorable, you know, something that is not a two-in-one present, because I always get that, because obviously I'm a December born child. Well, I should say man now, because I'm a man now. But that's what happens. I always get two presents in one, which is annoying. But it depends what gift it is. That's what I would say on that one. And that's it for this episode of Unpopular Opinions. Big up yourselves, first time watchers, season watchers. And you know what I usually do when I finish. But before that, subscribe to the ting. Big up you all 101 subscribers. I appreciate the love. I can feel the love. So thank you very much. And you know what I usually do when I finish? I'll give my opinions and I'll react later on. I know it's probably been a dead one, as I said. The energy is a bit sapped. I'm not going to lie, it's very hot and it's been very difficult. But let's go. See you later.